going on, everybody? It's TransWorld Wednesdays. That's right. We have a very special episode for you guys tonight with an all-star cast as we talk about all things that were Midwest Haunters Convention. We call this the Aftermath Show. We have some fun stuff to talk about, and we've got a whole round table of people. We're going to do a special format tonight and bring a whole lot of awesome people. We're going to get a chance to decompress, to talk, to really dive into all the fun stuff that we just got a chance to experience kind of over the last 5 days. A lot of people call it a weekend, but the party started on Wednesday and ended on Sunday. Before we get started, we want to give credit to a couple of awesome birthdays. Yesterday was Judy Brownfield from Nightmare on Chicago Street. She was at MHC. Derek Seltzer from 13th Floor Entertainment Group. His birthday was yesterday. He was at MHC. Mandy Lawrence from Ticket Spice. Her birthday is today. Chaka, Aaron O'Reilly from Zombie Army Productions and Hell's Gate Haunted House. His birthday is today. And, of course, our good friend Bonnie Bones from Midnight Terror, who actually got married on Saturday. So congratulations to all of them. And we welcome all of our amazing viewers to the show. Without further ado, let's start introducing this amazingly all-star cast. Of course, we got to start at the top. Miss Jenny Thaler and Rich Bianco from TransWorld. We love them. Welcome to the show. Pandora Rose from Haunters Hangout. Welcome to the show. Alan and Shannon Hops from Stiltby Studios and Dark Hour Haunted House. Welcome to the show. Scott Taterlind and Caitlin Hodges from Froggy's Fog. Welcome to the show. And Jim Slanker from Chicago Haunt Builders. Welcome to the show.
Woohoo! Hey, everybody.
We got a fun format with all of you amazing people.
Wait, I'm here too. I actually made it.
Yay!
Hey! What's up, everybody? Did we get some sleep?
No.
We're in another show, Chris.
Yesterday was a no pants day, but I still worked some.
No pants days are great.
That's a mental.
Awesome. I love that.
Didn't need that.
So what, Jen, Rich, do you want to start us off and talk about just how epic this show was? And everybody, we're going to do a different format this time. Everybody feel free to chip in.
Okay, so I'm really excited. really, really excited. I think I woke up and called Anne-Marie and Chris at like 7 o'clock and Nicole and everyone this morning. Everyone can obviously see from the show floor that we doubled in size. That we were super, super, super excited about. But wait, there's more. The only thing I couldn't predict, even though I did see people signing up for the show, was how many people were going to be at the show. Okay, so I was talking to my dad last night. This has never actually happened. We doubled the size of the buyers in 1 year. We doubled.
That's amazing.
And we doubled the size of buyers, even by a little bit on top. So, you know, when my dad came on Sunday, because I wanted him there on Saturday, I was like, you're not going to want to come on Sunday. You never know. You know, there's always that feel of a letdown a little bit because Saturday's so high and then you never know what Sunday's going to be. But Sunday was just as good. And I'm elated. I even woke up this morning and I said to Rich, did it really happen? Like, did we really our numbers? Like, I've been doing this a long time. My family's been doing this a long time. And to come out of the gate, you know, after the pandemic and all these different things and moving cities and, you know, there's just been so much going on to actually double the show floor space and double the amount of buyers. And people enjoyed it. I mean, people were telling me it was like a mini TransWorld. If you put the carpet down, we wouldn't know the difference. Like,
It's true.
I got so many compliments over the last, you know, days since the show ended that it's been I'm like on cloud nine. I can't begin to tell you. Rich and I and the whole team worked so hard this year to make MHC a blast, but you can work that hard and it doesn't always still gel together, but it worked. Like it happened. And every day I'd call Jim in the morning. I saw him twice. I'm like, Jim, I hope they're buyers here. And he's like, Jenny, it's going to be great. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. Because that's the one thing, even though people say their numbers are high and everyone's coming, you really don't know until the show happens. But things were good. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed to work with our sponsors, with Haunted House Chicago's Row, with Froggy's Fog, with with Alan and Ben Armstrong and Jim Slanker and Hunter's Hangout and everyone that puts their little bit of a touch on the show. We hit it. We made it. I'm sorry. I know I'm a little enthusiastic.
No, I love
it. It's a great show. And I want to thank the entire industry for pulling together. I mean, we had great companies there helping us and pulling for us. And I just want to say I love you all. And thank you. You made my whole entire summer.
We love you, Jen. It's you guys that make this happen. So thank you for all you do. Giving us all a place to congregate and come together and be the giant happy haunt family that we are. It's fantastic. Thank you for you.
We appreciate that. And honestly,
Pandora said it exactly right. Thank you for putting it together and giving us a venue to come and hang out and get together, have an awesome 4 or 5 days, and just get to be with fellow haunters and just have an awesome time. So thank you, and Rich. Yeah.
well, we appreciate that, and everybody on this podcast right now had a lot to do with it. Chris and Nicole did a lot of stuff to make the entertainment on that floor amazing, and our sponsors, Froggies and many others, had so much to do with what we did. And Hunter's Hangout brings a whole different level of entertainment there, and the auction and the haunt tours were amazing. And Jim, the stuff you do, just a lot of people don't understand how much you do for the show behind the scenes and bringing in your group. I mean, it's all part of it. So we couldn't do this without everyone else, but the Midwest and the Chicagoland area should be extremely proud of what this show's turned into. And, if I could just go back in history a little bit so people understood, things were tough for us for a few years when this show got off the ground. When we took it over, we kind of bounced around from Columbus to we went to Schaumburg at first, and it's a nice place, but it's really wasn't the best place for the show. And then we had plans of moving it to Rosemont, where TransWorld used to be many years ago, for the people that were around for that. And it didn't work out because of COVID. We weren't allowed to produce shows there. So we ended up going to Milwaukee. And Milwaukee was an okay show. It was probably one of the worst shows we've ever put on.
We don't talk about Bruno.
But we were excited for Milwaukee, right? We thought it was awesome. We were able to go out.
Right. And to get back to it, there were some exhibitors that actually got turned off by Midwest after that, and they haven't came since, which is interesting. And Jen really put a strong push towards contacting everyone and saying, you got to give it a chance here. And Chicago, it's a whole different animal, and it's definitely been proven. To double the show floor size in 1 year and double the attendance in 1 year. Do we expect to do that again? No, that's next to impossible. I'm sure Jen will expect that. It's not going to happen. At the end of the day, the size of the show, as quickly as it was, I never had more comments. Even talking to Shannon one day at the show, she was like, "Rich, this is crazy. I've never seen so many people at Midwest, And Shannon and Alan have been to many shows of ours, and they've been to many others. And I can't say enough of how much.
I'll tell you that this Midwest was different. It was, we had some theme park buyers come by. We had. Which normally does not happen to us at Midwest. We had orders for stilt costumes at this show, and normally Midwest hasn't traditionally been an order placing show for us. It's largely a big cash and carry show, but the people were there and buying. I think mini TransWorld is one of the best ways to describe it. I mean, certainly not on that scale, but better than it's ever been as far as quality of buyer. But we still ended up with time to talk to people, which is, if there's a downside to TransWorld, it's that you're so busy you can't talk. And from the haunt tours early, you get to talk to people on the buses, and then the new people you meet on the bus, you get to talk to them every day. You touch base with them throughout the whole show. MHC is always awesome. This was a particularly really good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was everyone pitched in and did their part. Even people that aren't on the show right now, Anne-Marie and her team and the seminars, like everybody
And
just,
Stephanie.
and Stephanie, yeah. And we had some new people, that were involved. Zombie Army helped. There's just so many people got behind it. And that's what this show is all about. It's always, our vision always was, this isn't TransWorld. It's really a regional show that's designed for that region. Do we have some people coming from different parts of the United States? Sure. Alan's coming all the way from Texas. So, I mean, people come from different places, but the show is predominantly, attended by people local. And that's what it was all about. And they came out in droves. I mean, Robert did a great job with the advertising. I mean, there's a lot of things that people did behind the scenes, and, we can't thank everybody enough. It isn't, sure, Jen and I are the faces of the company, but there's so many people behind the scenes that do so much for this company to make it what it is. Everything from vendors all the way to attendees. It's just really nice to be part of it. And it was great to see people, you know what I mean? TransWorld was, early this year. It was nice to see everybody again, in June. So I can't say enough good
And
things.
the other thing I want to do is I want to thank a lot of some of the other trade show companies that run shows in the haunt industry came out to say, wow. And it just, you could feel the love. I mean, it was just wonderful. So I appreciate them buying in, from different parts of the country too, to support this show. So
Yes.
that
And
was
huge kudos to the bus tour also.
Oh,
The bus tour was great.
bus captains.
Yeah.
What a tour.
was-
What a
It
tour.
was an amazing tour. I think everyone had an amazing time seeing those haunts. You had everything from the new to the classic in the haunts, because you were at Eloise, you had Erebus, so you had everything. Also, I think everyone had a great time. Honestly, huge kudos on your food choices. They were great. They kept everyone fed.
Yeah.
Do you guys like
Plus, you did a pit stop at Walmart. I got a pound of deli ham to eat on the bus. Literally.
So, the trade show was awesome, but what really I think made MHC this year is the community aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
It differentiates it so much from TransWorld, because it is so much more than just the trade show, right? It's the haunt tours that we just talked about. It's all the, the seminars, but mostly it's the community aspect of the show that, it's always been there. Right? It's always been about the community aspect, but this year it was just over the top, at least from my perspective.
Oh, yeah.
On just, meeting up with people and seeing people. And as Pandora said, the hugs and everything. And it was just so much more, right?
Security.
Well, Chicago haunt builders kind of had their own little village over in the corner over there.
Yes.
They did.
It was really cool, to just
Kinda
walk
did.
by and then
I mean, it felt
Yeah.
very cohesive this year.
I mean, look, even bus 1 and bus 2 were having a bus war situation before the tour.
It was fun.
And when bus 1 cracked their pants and forgot to put entertainment on the bus, bus 2 was right there.
We came through.
to help bus 1 out, and I'm sure they loved the Goonies movie they watched.
We did.
Their
Hey,
movie
we
probably
did.
had sound.
We did.
Their movie probably had dialogue. Ours did not.
It did.
Cocaine Bear's 1,000 times more frightening when you don't hear anything except for sound effects and bear noises.
Tater, what's funny is our bus had the audio for the DVD player, but no video.
No video.
See, that's my bus number one and number one.
So our bus heard a small chunk of Beetlejuice. That's what they got. But the tour was amazing. Back to the show, and I saw someone comment about the energy of the show, and I think an aspect that I haven't really thought of before, but I noticed it at this show, just the inclusion of young people at the show, which you don't get at TransWorld. Obviously, it's business oriented, and you don't necessarily want that. But having characters on the floor and having young people on the floor, it's a different energy. And seeing the wow and the fascination on the kids' faces is really cool when they walk by your booth and they see your stuff or they see a cool costume. And a lot of us at TransWorld, we're a little bit jaded. You know, we've been doing this a while, and it's real hard to find a new thing that puts a wow on our face. And just seeing the kids light up, and including, 15, 16, 17-year-old haunt actors, just seeing them light up and the energy that they put into it.
Yeah.
I think watching someone fall in love with haunted houses is my favorite thing in the world.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I got to do that at MHC. That's cool.
Little Wednesday Adams, who
Yes!
was jamming
Oh my
out
gosh,
at
yes.
the video wall, was precious because we had it right next to us, and she was just jamming out.
I was gonna say that me and Shannon got to, and Chris got to MC it. The kids costume contest. Those kids brought it.
Did they?
We had little Wednesday Adams. We had a fire breathing or smoke breathing dragon.
Yeah, Slider Man.
Yeah.
Little slider kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kid that won that contest, the look on his face when he won and when he came off the stage and how excited he was, his jaw just dropped and he was looking around at everybody and so excited. So it is fun to see that.
It's the magic of Halloween that in October we're often so wrapped up and busy and doing what we're doing that, we often miss.
Yeah.
And it was,
And
awesome
I
to
wanna
see it.
say, go on the public record and say hats off to not only Jen and Rich, but to the TransWorld Live team, even Robert.
Yeah.
Poor Robert.
For the after party that was happening on Friday night, especially the after party on Saturday night. I have never seen so many people packed in, shouting, having a good time, feeling included, just taking part of all of the stuff that was going on, the beer pong, the flip cup, the surprise performance by the Vaudettes, and then the other things that were going on, the drag show that happened, all for free, all on TransWorld's probably dime, that, gave them a safe space to have all those party and events in.
The after parties all sounded awesome. I was sleeping.
I do not know what that means.
I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out here to Jim and the Chicago Haunt Builders, because they had one of my favorite events at MHC. I am a chronic early riser, which means you guys in the haunt community hate me, but I'm a lark. I'm up early. And the breakfast that we were invited to was such a pleasure. I've never got a chance to really work or talk with the Chicago Haunt Builders group, but first of all, to go to anything social before a show floor opens is unheard of. That is, I don't think that's ever happened. So, let's go have breakfast. We're vending. We can't do anything. All we do is vend. But that's not what happened at this show, and I'm so grateful because it was such a, it was a lovely event, a great way to start what was without a doubt going to be an enormous, crazy day all the way till late into the night, and to get up early and have breakfast with Jim and his crew. I'm sure people are going to say, you're up too early. I thought that was lovely.
Yeah, again, it's about people.
I love that. I love meeting all the people, and it was such a great way to start the day.
Chicago has a great home haunt community, and I think that spilled over and pushed into the show and added energy into the show.
Yeah, it was great, Jim. I really appreciate
it. I started that day at with Shannon.
I was coaching you.
And you were still up when I was leaving for the airport.
I worked the show floor. Then we went to Fuga de Chao or whatever, the presenting steakhouse, and I was literally falling asleep chewing my steak. And they're like, "You should."
Come on, Tater.
So I took a little nap and I recharged and came back out on to the costume party, which was amazing. The Vaudettes again, amazing time. Nice little party going on, thanks to Basement for the DJing, and then I continued to continue. And it's sad when I woke up at 4 a.m. to go to the airport. It
was 3. I go down. I'm heading to the airport because I had to fly directly to another show, and so I walk into the lobby and I just hear, "Good morning, sunshine," and I was like, "Why are you awake? It's literally 3:05 a.m."
So, me and Nicole had a had a master plan that seemed
To
go
win.
on without a hitch until the audience turned on us, Nicole. And we were robbed from our hot sauce crowns.
Yeah.
We were
I have
right
to say,
there.
you know, Rich was talking about the cohesiveness of the show, and I wanted to kind of touch on that and say, I believe that it was you, Rich, that had a big hand in the design of the show floor itself this year, and the groupings of how it was all laid out. And I really think that brought a great deal to that cohesiveness of the show. The way you laid this out with, you know, tabletop row and, you know, the haunts and Zap having their line, and then Chicago Haunt Builders over in that corner. Just the whole show floor, the way it was laid out was just perfection this year. I really, really loved that. I think it really brought everything together. So well done.
And he does a
Well
great
done.
job. Even my dad says he lays out a floor better than he did. I mean,
Oh, that's awesome.
does a great job laying out.
There is certainly an art to it. You know, as a booth person, you know, there's people that I want to be next to, and there's people that I do not want to be next to. And you know, it makes sense to have all of one thing together, but that's not always the best layout. And I think that you guys always find a good balance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, is I want to thank everyone for bringing back the body art fashion show. That was a huge thing, a huge undertaking, and it's only going to get approved upon year after year. So we're very excited. I'm very thankful. I mean, the models looked gorgeous, and I know a lot of the artists spent a lot of time.
Wait, there were body paint models there?
Yeah, that was when you were napping.
Oh.
And
The worst nap ever then.
I mean, all parts of the floor are very important to how the show goes down, and even like having Haunters Hangout with their booth and TransWorld Live with their booth being up against each other. It kind of brings, you know, two podcasts that are together that, you know, that both have fans, and it's kind of cool like that. But, you know, one group I'd like to thank that we really haven't talked about is the haunts that participated in our pit.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's a huge part of the show. They, you know, those guys, we appreciate their support and being behind it. This is their area. It's like, to me, I kind of look at like this regional show, you know, the Chicago one. It's like your home sports team. You know what I mean? You're repping your team. This isn't TransWorld. It's its own entity, and it's a regional show that is mostly the Midwest. Let's be honest, the majority of people are coming from the Chicagoland area. You know, and there are some from the surrounding areas that we get, but, you know, people really stepped up in the area and, you know, wanted to be part of the show. And that's what we were looking for when we took over the show.
For sure. And for patrons to be able to meet some of those icon characters as well.
Yeah.
Really brilliant.
There's so many aspects of it that just were awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I know we all did a lot of planning for it, but it really worked out. That doesn't always happen.
We learned from our mistakes last year. Like, we didn't realize, even coming from Milwaukee to Chicago, we didn't realize the attendance was going to jump the way it did, because it jumped significantly the first year. And we weren't prepared at registration, and we understood it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of complaints, and we fixed it. This year, people were like, this is awesome. We can't believe how fast we're getting through the line. And they go on the floor, and the floor is packed, and they're like, all these people are in here and they're already registered. It was great. So that stuff we improved on, and we listen to everybody's comments when somebody has an issue with something that's gone, and we try to do our best with it. I think our whole team does.
Yeah, I mean, you had so many people registered before the show opened that it was 8 minutes for the line to come in.
Yeah,
Already registered people, and you know, they started showing up there at 6:30 in the morning.
Now, it was fun to see people sitting in line like they do at TransWorld. I was like,
Thank you,
assistant, here this early, you know, like, and they were lining up already, sitting there. It was really fun to see.
The energy was just great the whole weekend. It just felt good. I was happy being there. It was amazing. It really.
Yeah.
I don't know that
People were in line, Jen, at 6:30
yeah.
a.m.
Yep.
to get the first people into the door.
Jeremy said he literally walked in the door with the kid who was first in line.
But the way you were able to move them in so quickly, though, because like when I walked over to the show floor, I was like, oh, because it was like snaking so many times over in the lobby, and I was like, oh. And then it would like clear. I had to like run back because we forgot the password for our Square computer, and so I had to run back to the room to grab my laptop, and I was like, they're all gone. They like they all made it in like 5 minutes. Like it was just like a seamless door entry, get them in and let them start.
That's one thing that I love about the TransWorld team is something only has to happen once and then it's solved forever.
Yeah.
Right? Like really, like that was a big priority and it was a big thing that we talked about right away to make sure that it was seamless and that there was enough opportunities to be
James,
Very-
yes.
Yeah.
It
James
was all
is
about the
right.
entry.
That entrance
Yeah.
way was why everybody was lining up.
That's it.
Yeah, by far my favorite. It really
It's
helped.
pretty cool. Yep.
Yeah.
That coffin entry, and there was a nice banner to the right-hand sign that advertised some sort of something or other. I'm
Yes,
sure it helped
MHC
usher people
24.
right past them.
Yeah, and Starbucks. So
I will totally admit, Jen, the fact that there's a Starbucks right there by the door, it's just like
Yeah, the bar and the restaurant being right there at the front door.
The whole thing just worked.
That was great. Them adding
Yeah.
out.
that.
People hanging out. It was great.
Yeah, that bar being open this year was like perfect for all of us that were like at the front to be able to just like run out, grab, waters or soda or,
They sold food
beverages.
too. They had a
Yeah.
full menu too. You could order food.
They did?
Yes,
Yeah, some
they
of
did.
the line
They
there.
did. They had sandwiches, everything. Yeah, you
And
could
they were
order food.
they were quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they got it up.
Yes, the kitchen was right behind the bar. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have it open for setup, but I don't know that they would do that because generally we don't have enough people there. But for setup, but when it did open, I saw a lot of people sitting out there in that area eating, and that's kind of how we set up the pit too, where we had concessions on one end with tables in the middle. All you guys, all the vendors and haunts surrounding it, and it just made for a good atmosphere.
It was good.
Well, guys, we hate to cut it short on the Froggies end of side of things. However, I don't know if you know this, but we're in a room full of hooligans here. In about 5 minutes, there's going to be more hooligans busting. That's my security. Busting through this door, making loud enough noise that we're not going to be able to talk to each other.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you for coming on and just being
yeah.
part of the show. And
Absolutely.
We apologize for cutting out so early, but we're at another show and we got to
Understand.
We got to get the boss.
Love you, Caitlin. Love you, Tater.
love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're alone now.
I want to say that, by the way, the name of this show, The Aftermath, is perfect.
Yeah.
Because
Totally true.
today was my first day back at the haunt, and I had a meeting with my build crew and some of my design team based off of some of the things I saw on the haunt tours. And I had a meeting with my costuming people based off of some of the costumes that I saw and how things were incorporated. And it's the aftermath of the show is it's all the seeds that you plant in your brain while you're there. And then they grow and they come to fruit afterwards. And those seeds from the cool things that we saw and things that we learned, whether it was in classes or whatever, those seeds are going to affect us for a while. And it just really, really neat experience this year. This year was really amazing.
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
Alan, as a haunt owner, can you explain why you attend this stuff? Like why you go to the tours and why you want to be a part of all that?
Absolutely. Well, every market has a feel. You know, there's a Texas feel to the 10, 15 closest haunted houses to me. When I do actor training up in Boston, there's a feel up there. When I was at Spooky World, New England has a feel to it. And Chicago has very much its own feel, its own style and flavor of haunt.
Yeah.
And being able to go to that show with an open mind and seeing other shows doing things in their style helps make my show better because I can adapt that to what we're doing at Dark Hour, or to when I end up doing consulting for someone in another or different market. I'm able to take those things that were fed in Chicago and they were allowed to grow in Chicago, which maybe they didn't in other markets. There's a breed of actor and a look to makeup that is almost Chicago specific in that area of the Midwest. And Columbus was the same way. Columbus had its own feel and flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
When you travel around and you see all the different flavors of haunted attraction, it's there's zones, you know.
Yeah.
And while we're all kind of doing the same thing, they do it in a different way, and that is what's inspiring. If you see the same thing over and over again, you know, or just a different paint job on the same thing, it's not as inspiring. But there's a whole different take on it because of the background and the history of the area and the mindset of the customers who go through.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So, and like Alan, I'm just going to touch on that because I know just from doing business in multiple different places, you know, there are things in New York that we will touch on that I know you would never touch on in Texas, right? And I know there are things that we will do that in Chicago, they go like 100-fold, but we're still like, I don't know if we can actually get away with, you know, some of that. And I thought it was even interesting to compare, you know, the experience that we had at Joliet with what we were seeing at Eloise and Hush and Erebus. I thought that it was very different, even though, you know, we're dealing with the same time period of day or, you know, kind of time of year. But it is very interesting. It's interesting you picked up on that because you just made me think of that, like that. Oh, because I took some notes back too and was literally like, these are things I would love to do. Don't know if we can get away with them, but
well,
we can do.
Even here, if it's raining outside, customers are harder to pierce a little bit because they have like this like mental armor up to keep the raindrops off of them. I know that's a little weird, but so imagine how hard the actors have to work or how they have to attack differently to affect people who are really bundled up from the cold and they're conserving their mental energy from that. We don't have that in Texas. You know, it's a different style and you try to affect the brain differently because of the culture of the people that you're interacting with. And of course, they're going to be different in different places.
Yeah. That's what I find interesting ever since I started working for TransWorld like 10 years ago. And from the beginning, going to haunts and stuff, it's crazy how, you know, how much you learn. I mean, I don't know. To me personally, if I owned a haunted house, I would be going on every tour I could possible because you want to see what else is out there and you learn. Even the smallest haunt, you learn from them. They're doing different things than you do. And it's some of it can save you a ton of money figuring out different things that these guys do. And I even think from an exhibitor perspective, like coming to some of these shows and some of these tours, when you go on them, you learn things that need to be made. You know, things that, you know, you're looking for new products to make every year and seeing some things you're like, well, that looks cool, but I could do something better. You know, that's where we get inspired from a lot of these ideas. And that's my perspective on it. Just seeing all these different haunted houses. And now I've been to so many over the years and it's nothing compared to what you see now. And a lot of people on the show probably seen way more than I have in the short time I've been here, but it's pretty crazy how creative some of these haunts are and some of the things they do. I love seeing things where, you know, they kind of just made it on their own. You can tell what they did, the time they put into it, and you know, it's the effect it has.
Like every haunted house in the 80s, like before TransWorld, before the internet, every haunted house was its own goldfish bowl, you know, and, you know, one haunted house developed drop panels and another haunted house did curtain scares and then all these different things that we do all the time now developed somewhere. And you didn't used to get to do this. So doing a haunt tour is phenomenal where I can go and in 20 hours, we really visited 4 separate haunted houses. And it was, each one had its own style. Each one had something that it had kind of developed and contributed to haunting as a whole.
Yeah.
I get to mind that and I get to take that back with me. But who wouldn't do that?
And by the way, thanks for moving the tour so vendors could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great because we never get to do, we don't get to do that. And because the tour was on Thursday, we could go and enjoy it. And when are we going to get another chance to see these shows? And I'm Legendary, yeah, but now I've got a chance to see. I don't know when I would ever have had a chance to see any of these shows.
And we're going to do
so
a formula like that.
So thankful.
We're going to do that again for East Coast hunters too.
Yeah,
so
look at
exhibitors a chance to tour on Thursday.
So good.
On Friday. So
All these
soon too.
beautiful people.
I'll tell you
that photo of all those people getting together, for a Photoshop or a photo shot of the tour. It's just amazing seeing all those people together.
It was great that we got to go because vending changes your show experience.
Yeah.
When you choose to vend, it's gonna change your show experience. I don't care if it's 20 hours. I don't have a great day. We had a great time. And
I think it was done right. You know what I mean? And like you said, the biggest thing was the food, right? Each time we got to eat, I was like, we're having what? Oh my God, that's delicious right now.
Boy, this weird Chicago food I've never had before. I was all over the food. So why do they eat it like this? It's fat. Well, we got to stop eating. We got to get in line. But look at what they're serving us. It's fascinating. I was fascinated with what y'all eat. It was great. Y'all just eat for me.
Well, we wanted to make sure we knew it was going to be a long day.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure we kept you guys fortified.
Yeah.
We wanted not to be a slice of pizza or a sub. We wanted to make sure that hearty food.
Yeah, and we started the day off by sugaring you up with
some donuts
and a bunch of coffee. And
that was so nice of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think that the bus tour, I had some people who were, saying, oh my God, 20 hours. And they immediately, had an opinion that it was just misery. And I kind of looked at it like, okay, it's 20 hours. I'm well aware of that. That's like going Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Pick your bus carefully. People did. I don't think there was any surprises. Everybody's saying, I thought this was a party bus. Everybody knew what bus they were on. And I think that we had such a good time getting to know our people and breaking down each show and talking about it and just such a general appreciation for it. Jim said this very well at the breakfast. He said, how lucky are we that we get to be together and celebrate Halloween in June? And I thought, man, that was
absolutely.
And he's right.
Yeah.
It's June and we're doing this. And that was so cool.
Yeah. No, I think one of the things that you kind of touched on too about like that snuggling in for the ride. I literally sat down and we were among fans that, were sitting right next to us. And I looked right at him and I was like, so the next 20 hours for you is going to be either very entertaining or very irritating.
And it was the former.
The odds be ever in your favor. And I turned back around. I was like, I don't know what to say. Yeah.
I want to thank the sponsors too for Fairworm and Secret Spice for all the stuff, and I know they provided alcohol and there was a bunch of stuff, and I know Chocolate Treasures provided all the which was amazing. So you know who I would love to hear more from? Oh, there she goes, Pandora, on how everything went with Hunter's Hangout.
Yeah, this was an epic year for us. It really, truly was. It's the family. It really, really was. The positioning of the booth was perfect. We loved being right there with TransWorld Live. You dropped down that ramp and boom, you had no choice but to run right into us, which was absolute perfection, especially when pushing the raffle for St. Jude's. And we tripled our numbers this year. Tripled our numbers, $3,310 raised for St. Jude from that raffle. Cannot thank not just our regular sponsors, but the special donors and just the vendors in general at the show who came out of the woodwork and just started putting stuff on tables. Here, take it for the children. And it was amazing. So yeah, absolutely epic show for us. Tripled numbers. The donation was made to St. Jude's just this morning. Can't thank my girls enough, Allie and
I know,
Emma,
I see them on here.
Daughters. Yes, and they really those two girls really were the absolute core of making sure that booth stayed running, so that Diablo and myself and Margaret and August could mingle and talk to the people, and they handled all of the business inside that booth. So thank you, family, and thank you, Jen and Rich and Nicole. Just thank you, because it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I want to say that too. I felt so bad. So actually I missed both. I actually missed Jim. I missed Alan. I missed Shannon. I was trying to do on the floor interviews. And I literally ran over to Pandora as soon as I saw both her and Diablo standing there, and I was like, just a second. I ran and got Lucas our camera.
Do not move. Don't move.
And it was quite literally moments before you guys were going on. But it was like when you talk about your daughters and even your husband and everybody, it was right before that happened. And that was the first chance that I could actually get everybody's attention all at once. And I was just like, rolling the dice and was like, all right, I'm going to hope everybody else is there.
Yeah, absolutely epic. Really, really was. And of course, to have Baby Wednesday and her siblings help pull the tickets for the raffle was pretty entertaining in and of itself.
Yeah. It was adorable.
So I want to make a note. We've talked a little bit about it, but the classes, I want to thank everybody. I got to help pick some classes this year. So I reached out to a lot of people. We had a lot of first-time speakers at this show as far as teaching. And I want to thank them for sharing. Because I have a passion for haunted house education and for breaking out of the goldfish bowl and learning what everybody else is doing, so that we can just give a better show. And I think the classes went well. I was very happy with the ones that I got to pop in on and see. And I enjoyed, of course, giving mine. I always do. But that's a big aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take anything with those guys.
Look at that picture.
I mean, there's no pick right there.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm very happy with that. There's a lot of things I think went well. That's part of it.
Great.
I just want to thank Jen and Rich for including Chicago Haunt Builders in the show and giving us space and letting us do the walkthrough haunt. There's a lot of people from the group that participated in it. I think I have nothing to do with the walkthrough haunt. I am strictly the eye candy of the whole thing.
Me too, Jim. Me too.
There's a ton of people from the group that are involved with it. I think they did an awesome job. At 9:00 on Friday morning, there was nothing but the cement floor of the exhibition hall there. And by late afternoon, they had it up and ready to go for Saturday. And that's a lot of work, prep work and planning. A bunch of people helped, but really I need to shout out to Michael Peters.
Yeah.
He runs his home haunt, and then Glenn Wyrick coordinated a lot. I think them and all the group members, did an awesome job. And I just want to say thank you. It is, so incredible for just some people playing with dolls in their front yard to have the opportunity to participate in something as awesome as Midwest Haunters. I just thank you, right? It was an awesome experience, an awesome weekend. It enlarged the community but certainly Michael Peters and Glenn Wyrick deserve a ton of credit for what they did. Like I said, 9:00 Friday, it was nothing but cement floor.
Amen. Yeah. They had great reviews. They did a great job.
Yes. Everyone I talked to said how awesome, the haunt was, and like I said, they just had a few hours to get it up and running. And
it's amazing. And can we talk about Cheryl's statue?
Yeah, right?
Oh, God almighty. And everyone, the talent that she has is overwhelming. And you will be seeing her at TransWorld. She will be teaching this year. At the
Yeah.
So we're very excited and fortunate to have her. So I think it's going to be amazing, as well as Jim has agreed as well to speak at TransWorld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheryl's skill and talent is unbelievable. It I have to go. My pat answer is I hate her. Right? In my house, that's the highest
best
compliment you can get is have one of us come up to the other one and go, I hate you, right? Because it means we're insanely jealous of the skill and ability. And Cheryl's just
It was absolutely amazing. Like I couldn't gush more when I saw her about how amazing that piece was.
I think if there's one picture that if you counted, what item was posted the most over the whole weekend, from the haunt tours to the party to the show floor to everything, I think Cheryl's statue, if you tick marked it, would blow away anything else that was any other picture that was posted.
It's amazing. No, I agree 100%. The other people we forgot to thank right now is a zombie walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that turnout was amazing. I mean, this is only our second year doing it in Chicago, and Kevin puts it together perfect. And I'm so grateful for Kevin and his team for doing it. It adds such an amazing element to the show. Even at one point, I still saw them congregating after the walk outside in that circle area. And it just had such a great energy. So thank you as well for doing that and continuing to do that.
Yeah, and you got to love, the Schaumburg, the Rosemont entertainment area, right?
Yeah.
It's just, here you are, and all of a sudden a bunch of zombies start shambling through on a Saturday night. Hi. Yeah.
It was amazing. There was so much packed into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday that, TransWorld, I'm there over a week. When I'm done with Midwest this week, I was exhausted, exhausted, worse than TransWorld.
Yeah, same. I have not been able to catch up. I'm just like,
yeah.
Well, we talked about it, right? There's the 3-ring circus, that you hear of. Midwest Haunters was like 15, 16.
Yes.
Rings going on, with everything you had going on, with everything in the pit, the contests, the show floor, the just hanging with people, the tours, the seminars, the home haunter seminars. It was 15, 16 rings easily.
And that's amazing, Jim, because when Chris sat in my dining room, the first year we did MVC together, which I think actually, we did it we've done it for the last couple of years, but when we actually decided to revamp the whole thing, he's like, what's your vision? I go, I want a 3-ring circus.
That's exactly what she said.
Something for everyone. And that really was the model that we tried to go after, was making it like everyone had a place. There was something for everyone. Yes, we know we could make a show floor. Yes, we know we can bring seminars, but it's that camaraderie in the pit and all those things. And and I think TransWorld Live, Robert and Nicole had a lot to do with that, as well. And Chris, pulling it all together. I don't even know how Chris could stand on stage and keep talking. I was
me either.
I
just kept going to my people, bring him tea. Fresh caffeinated beverage.
He did a great job, and I don't even know getting made fun of on the match game, or it was
Chris
great.
is a pro. Absolute pro.
So good.
Thank you.
So, it's everyone. It's just that it was just, I don't know. I could probably go on and on and on, because Midwest just pulled it this year. We brought it. We brought our game. And if anyone who knows me, I don't do that. I don't say that. Even when Jim and everyone saw me, Chris called, I'm like, I hope people show up. I'm not arrogant about it at all. I'm very grateful for everything that everyone gives. And we hit it out of the park. I'm seriously excited about it. And I have to thank every single person that we work with that brought it. So I just don't think I can thank everyone enough. I can't wait for next year. I can't wait for TransWorld. I can't wait for East Coast. I just am so excited. It just re-energized me.
And you're coming off of 2022, which was an awesome show.
Yeah.
2022, you hit it out of the park, and then you come back, and I'm not a sports guy, so I can't use any analogy or what anything, but I mean, 2022, we sat here and said what a great show it was and everything. And then you came back with 2023.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a superlative that you can use to describe it. And like I say, we talk about the show floor, right? And I keep saying this Midwest Haunters is so much more than the show floor.
Yes.
It is, you just can't describe it or compare it against another show because it's not a show floor, right? It's the haunt tours. It's everything that's going on. It's the pit. It's all the activities.
Yeah.
You don't see the hanging out and just, community aspect at any other event to which I've been, and I've been to most of them, that you see at MHC. And it's just amazing. And by the way, with all that going on, you got an awesome show floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even with the amount of vendors that we had, yes, we had a lot of buyers, but the amount of vendors that were reporting that were like, we're sold out, or our calendar's booked, or, people really heard you and they said it's your last chance to buy. I really wanted to grab a video of Ghost Ride. However, their booth was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
I know. I wanted to get some props, and Michael's like, "This is sold. That's sold." I'm like, "Friday. Like, how am I? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah. No, I mean, people came right in, like, ready to go, and like the creepy closeouts and like all of that other stuff, like, just insane. And and really, and I'm watching everything we had planned went off without a hitch. It was crazy, incredibly fun. I saw Taylor in here when she was like, also loved the Friday night karaoke. Too much fun, over and over again. It's insane. And it was so much fun.
And all the activities for the kids. Right?
Yeah.
That makes it a family event, right? Yeah. That differentiates it with just all the activities with the kids. From, we talked about it, dressing up and Wednesday, walking the show floor and everything, but then you have the whole area, and it really is, it goes back. I've said it, I don't know, 73,000 times this in the last 56 minutes, the community aspect, right? It's it's the family thing. It really is community. I don't know what else to say. It was just
the cool part about it is that there were a lot of vendors that came to this show that weren't exhibiting, that were walking around and looking at stuff, and I couldn't. It was crazy how many come up to me and said, "Man, I'm coming back next year." They saw the way it was, and we always invite vendors to be a part of it. Yeah, they wanted to be a part of it, and you see Distortions sold out their whole booth. Yeah. There were several guys that did that.
Right, props sold out. Many of his props.
Right. Yeah, and special thanks to Doug, like from Fright Props and Poison Props. He brought a really nice booth. It's the first time Poison Props came to the show. He believed in the show and wanted to give it a shot, and did very well. In his Poison Props booth, and Fright Props brought a much nicer booth this year. They really built it up, made it look good, and others followed suit. That was part of it. I mean, people really got behind it because they saw the potential last year when it moved into Rosemont, and we're expecting next year to be even better. I've gotten several people that it was their first time show, and their first show ever. When they came to MHC, and they said they couldn't believe how well they did. Where are the contracts for next year? They're very excited. So that's fun when it's like that. You don't like shows when it's bad, and you gotta. I mean, there's always somebody that doesn't do well. There's always a couple vendors for whatever reason. Maybe people just weren't buying those products at the time, but predominantly the majority of the vendors had an amazing show.
One of the things that I heard several times over, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, Jen and Rich. I heard several times over that there were people that wished the show floor was open 3 days instead of just the 2. I did hear that.
Him in the show office, and he's like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just glad we have people for 2 days.
Yeah.
Can we wait a couple years?
Yeah. Let's settle in and get the groove going.
yeah. And he's just like, no, we need it. We need it. These numbers are crazy. And I need more time. And I'm like,
part of it that scares us with that too is, it's not TransWorld, and the problem with it is when you add that third day, you're adding a third day of expenses for the exhibitors too.
yeah.
And I feel like people find a way to get there the 2 days and spend their money. If they know Sunday's their last day, they're spending. And I remember when we were getting up in the morning, we were on our way to the show, and Jen's like, "Oh, I'm so nervous about Sunday. I just don't know. Sundays are always bad at all shows, and like nobody comes." And
Ooh, not this year. Ooh, no.
We had more signups on Sunday, new buyers on Sunday than we've ever had at an MHC. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
So many new people coming in and just signing up for Sunday only. It was pretty amazing.
it was cool. And what Bobby Wiener said to me, what I was one of the best compliments, is she's like, Jen, I'm seeing all new people too. She's like, you're giving me a whole new clientele that I don't have. And I really thought about it. I'm like, wow, like that's amazing. She's like, I'm meeting all these new people for the first time. She's like, MHC is awesome. So I felt good about
It's
that.
9
There
o'clock.
were so many aspects of things that occurred over that weekend that were just kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, if you're a vendor and you do TransWorld, these regional shows are a great place to deliver stuff. So you can cover your costs anyway. You're delivering orders that you took at TransWorld, but then taking new ones. And it's maybe you didn't meet somebody at TransWorld and you ran into them at MHC, or you get to strengthen that relationship that you started at TransWorld, and they get to see you a second time at MHC and know you're for real and know you're going to be at these shows, and they know they can depend on getting their products from you. Because there is always this thing with, you're meeting a new company. You want to make sure they can deliver, because some people take a massive amount of orders at TransWorld and they can't handle more, so it is nice. It's a great, and a lot of our vendors use that. They take it and they use it as a delivery point for orders that they took, and then they take new orders. So it's kind of neat, to see how the cycle works.
Jen, I want to point out something that I noticed this year, and that is that we have a booth, so we would be at the booth at the beginning of the day, and then Alan had class to teach and things that took us off of the show floor. I noticed that there were people who were there at the beginning of the day, and we'd come back later towards the end of the day. The people that were there at the beginning of the day were still there at the end of the day. So it's not like natural ebb and flow to a show floor that it's it's a push, and then it kind of has a natural death towards the end of the day. Saturday, it wasn't clearing out the way I expected it to be. Because we'll go back to the booth and we'll check on things, and we'll see how things are going with the crew and everything okay. And there was still a huge amount of people there, and not just that, just the same people I saw that morning. So they were getting there and they were staying. Which was so interesting to see that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that we have to give the credit to the TransWorld Live team and the pit and all that. Like, we provided a whole level of entertainment that kept people interested in staying there, because most of these small shows, I mean, I've been to a lot of shows. I travel, that's what I do. And after like an hour and a half, you're kind of done. You see all the vendors and all that. But these guys kept people on the floor, coming around, doing things. There was something going on all day long. And that's kind of what our vision was when we came into Chicago. We wanted to make this a place where people are, when you go to certain haunted houses, they create midways where they're not letting the customer leave. They come, they walk the haunted house. It's a 20-minute, 30-minute thing, but they spend 3 hours there.
Yeah, they make an evening of it.
Yeah, and that's what we want the show. We want them to spend a day there. We want them to be there, have fun stuff to do, people to hang out with, give them an area to lounge and hang out and make it fun. And the way the whole pit was designed was really conducive for that type of atmosphere.
100% achieved that this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
People were there, they stayed, and it was a great day. I'm accustomed to seeing a natural coasting of people towards the end of the day. Everybody's tired, and they were all still there.
I think a big part of that was the stage and the constant something happening on the stage.
Yeah.
It held people. It did really, really good. Stage was great.
Great job, Mr. Chris.
And that stuff too, we're always open to ideas. I mean, there's a lot of people listening to our show and watch things. If you have ideas and things that you think that are cool that you saw somewhere else, reach out to myself, Jen, Chris, Nicole, Robert, whoever, somebody on our team, and point things out to us. You know, I want to give a special shout out to Karen Murphy because she does a lot of things like that for us. Points us in a lot of directions of a lot of things that she sees at shows and she thinks is cool. She introduced us to Jim. We wouldn't even know, you know, Jim. And
if it wasn't for Karen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people behind the scenes that just, you know, do so many things for us, and we're super appreciative of that.
That's a good point. That's a great point. Thank you.
Yeah.
All I know is if you drive around Chicago in the next couple of weeks, don't be surprised if you see a lot of Halloween haunts and setups. After the awesome experience of Midwest Haunters and giving us a shot of Halloween in June, we had some unusual June weather come through, and it was cool and rainy the beginning of the week. Perfect October weather. Half the group is out there setting up for Halloween already.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
Between the show and the weather, it's October as far as we know it. We're just waiting for some really big windstorms to come through, and we're
Yeah. Dude, it's funny you say that. So we're doing our Summer Scream event, and we historically always do it on Father's Day weekend. But the trick to that is because historically it's cold, and like we just actually had a ton of rain the last 2 days, and got me rained out of a baseball game for a little bit earlier today. And a rain delay, hence the reason. Yeah. Anyway, the interesting part is we're doing Summer Scream, and our tickets, I'm just getting notification that they sold out. And I'm like, of course, they're not going to sell on a 90-degree day. They're going to sell on like a crazy, creepy, cold day where people are like, all right, it's time for Halloween.
Yeah, it feels like October here in Chicago. Or now we've turned the corner and we're back into June now. But between the show and then Monday and Tuesday with the rain and cool weather, I was waiting to start raking leaves.
I'm with Kimberlina. I chose poorly. I did not. Southern girl problems. I did not come prepared. Because, oh my God, I've done this wrong. I will never do MHC without a hoodie again, even if it's like
or on Sunday when everybody's already sold out of hoodies and like,
freezing. Yeah, y'all can laugh at me all you want.
I love it. I love it.
So I want to give a note about just the area around the convention center. In the food options were really, really good. That hasn't always been the truth in the past. We found a very Chicago small place, kind of just down River Road, called Franny's.
Franny's, yes.
Amazing.
Chris, why are you holding this out on me?
I ate there 4 times.
That's awesome. I told Nicole about this amazing tiki bar, and I didn't even get to join her.
No, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you must have had so much fun." I was like, "Well, behind the scenes, I was there for 14 minutes.
Yeah,
I had my team pre-order me a drink, and that is all I had time for."
That's exactly it.
We wanted some quintessential Chicago food, and Wednesday, when we flew in Wednesday, we had this little window of time before everything went crazy. And so we stopped, and we love a hole-in-the-wall place. And we saw this. Let's just give it a shot. It's hot dogs. How bad can it be? It was amazing.
Franny's is great. Gene and Jude's.
So good.
And what's funny is, I think, because, you see, you're on the Friends you only see at MHC, or you see them maybe at TransWorld at MHC. And they would come up. They'd say hello. They ask how your season was. They tell you what restaurant they ate at. They tell you where we're going to eat next. And then, that's part of the catching up, is sharing the food. So just having that great selection in that area is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Chicago is known for food.
Absolutely.
It is.
But that's what we wanted, because I don't want to come to Chicago and eat Mexican food.
Right. or barbecue, right?
I want to come to Chicago and try I want some classic, cliche Chicago food, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't put ketchup on a hot dog, you're okay.
No.
It was so good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm learning all these things about the city over here on the side. Sorry, I get caught up watching the comments sometimes.
Now, Alan, can we how hard was it to judge all of those amazing costumes on Saturday night?
It's very difficult. It is very difficult. Now, there was a system in place this year that was great and actually made it a lot easier.
Good.
It is so difficult to deal with artists, and when you make costumes, you're an artist, and you have 100 artists who all want your attention, and they all want to compete for. I love that costume. That was a great one. Unfortunately, it didn't win. And you have to look at what your categories are, and me and Ed Edmonds almost got in a fist fight.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
We're
What?
Now you have to tell
very
that story.
passionate people. We're very passionate people about what costumes we like, and he's a little more on the sci-fi side. I'm a little more on the monster, werewolf, scarecrow side, and he likes his aliens and sci-fi, and so it was great. I mean, all three of us we got along, obviously, but yeah, it was very difficult to judge. It was very difficult to judge.
Nicole and I just got a chance to see them as we were doing the interviews, and I really was like, thank God I am not a judge, because you guys have the hardest choice. There were so many good choices.
I was part of the text thread that was like, you have T-minus 9 minutes. There's a line up around the sign. You've got 4 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now that costume there, obviously that won best costume.
Yeah.
So many parts of that costume were fabricated, just amazing work. It looked good together. It was cohesive. Like I would pick that up and just put that in my show. Like that's a good costume.
Huge credit to Maya. She's here today. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff. Those guys look great. They always do. And they always have a sci-fi bend and like a patient feel to their costumes. Good stuff.
Yeah, just an awesome array from all types of different genres, different backgrounds, and different skill levels too. A lot of people really crafted. Nicole and I talked to a bunch of people that had worked on their stuff, some for 3 weeks, some for 3 months, some for like a year. So
it shows.
Very much.
It was the prosthetic, the face on that Alice that pushed it over the edge. There was much heated conversation about what costume was scariest and what was even scary. It was we had a debate.
We loved. I mean, I don't mean to speak for you, Nicole, but I remember how much we marveled at the Alice costume when she wandered into our interview. She has tokens from all of the icon characters from the series attached to her. So,
yeah,
that was pretty wild. That's super cool. Just wild.
It was a ton of fun at the costume ball this year for sure, and there was some really great stuff. Alice's costume, the spider, was amazing. The Alice costume. Who else did I see? It just epic stuff this year for sure.
Pandora, you in August looked amazing.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It was a ton of fun. It was. We couldn't see anything, but it was a lot of fun. We were completely blinded.
Yeah. No, Ryan Bisgard was saying, actually, you're getting a lot of love in the comments about your costume. Yeah. It was very striking. And I remember when you guys came over, I just was like squealing. I was like, oh my God, look at this.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, Chris and I stood there for close to 2 hours reviewing everybody's costumes with them, getting to know them and what they were wearing and who made their costume and where it came from and all of that.
That was such fun. It was like walking into the red carpet and give us the 360. It was absolutely like being on ET. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
That red carpet element to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is an awesome thing that you guys do.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. It was so fun.
Good.
And I love the
Very
way
good
Nicole were dressed. I mean, they both amazing. I loved it. Loved it.
Yep. And I will say, for anybody that caught it, yes, I was wearing Crocs. Yes, they were sparkly. And yes, they were in fact the Hocus Pocus ones. But I will tell you, the $160 beautiful purple velvet shoes were sitting under the table that no longer fit on my conference feet.
Fair.
Sad day.
No
Sad
judgment.
day.
No
But
judgment.
shout out to both Liz and Chelsea who attempted to stick the shoes onto me so that I could come across the street.
You wear
Never
those
will.
Crocs, girl.
But yeah. Yep. Note to self. Yeah. Oh my gosh. People are saying that they were entertained all night long. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
We definitely came dressed to impress. Chris and I planned that. Thank you to Jen and her. Yes. And Kyle
Yes.
Miller. Yes. I did have first of all, I only had 75 pairs of shoes. And yes, I did have about 8 of them that went on the bus tour with me. So thank you everybody on the bus tour who did notice that as well. If you didn't know that about me, having many options of shoes is a thing of mine. That's how I never get back pain and also keep going.
For a 3-day trade show, you should have 6 pairs of shoes.
Yes, see,
Yes,
thank you.
yeah,
Exactly.
Daytime shoes for each day, and then you switch your shoes
Right.
when the show is over,
Yeah.
and you wear your evening shoes.
Well, and like my
Indeed.
husband makes fun of me, but I'm like, dude, I have to wear heels to some of these. I have to look a certain way. Like I had boots with heels. It's a thing. You guys get it.
You know, got to give some kudos to you and Chris, Nicole, because I don't know how you guys do it, but you don't stop all weekend long from the very beginning all the way through to the end, and you keep your energy up every single day, all through the night. Don't know how you do it, so you guys deserve serious pats on the back because it's astounding. You're
Thank you.
superhuman, both of you. So thank you for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
If you guys are worn out or if you've had it, you fake it till you make it. Because I never.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it.
Chris was always smiling and excited, and in the back
Always.
of his head, he may be saying, I can't wait to get out of here," but no one can tell.
Nope.
That is professionalism, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I may have looked
Yes.
at Chris at one point, and I was like, "Heads up, if you need me for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be under table number 3. Got an app going." And also, if you're looking for the step and repeat banner, it's my pillow. You're gonna have to wait. Like
At the end of the day, Sunday, when everybody went, whoo, you know, and the floor is being broken down, you guys are both still smiling. You could have said, we're done. And you
Chris,
did.
we fooled them. We did a great
And that's awesome. That's pro.
So a testament to how good the show was is that look at how many people are in the comments right now saying,
Yes.
I was there, I loved it, I had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want it to end so much that they hopped on to watch the show about the show they just went to.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
we're actually getting reports from Robert, who's like, amazing show. We have a ton of people watching.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we have so much buzz and energy going right now that we're getting spam comments because they're like, hey, we might catch one person who's watching this. That's, you know,
Yeah, Jameer from the Middle East.
Yes.
He actually came to my booth. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, our numbers are so high, he's here spamming us.
Yeah, he has a solution for all of our problems, guys.
Yes.
Love, marriage, child problems.
He solves all
on
problems.
Sunday, I think I had the last stage demo on Sunday.
You did.
Which I was thinking I was going to be doing that to a bunch of empty chairs. End of the day,
No.
that's what I thought. And no, the crowd from the entertainment before kind of stayed. Some got up and left, but some others, new ones came in. And so even up to the last stage demo, that stage was hopping. That was kind of that's like the heart of the show to me now, which I'll be honest with you, in my head, the stage was not a big deal. It was like a side thing, but it's a big deal.
It's a main event.
It's a big deal.
Yep. Yep.
Can I give credit to Pandora and to Haunter's Hangout, because as we hit that 3:00 hour, we all talk about how things started breaking down. Most of the booths in Haunter's Row in the pit like we're like half broken down, and here we are like 20 minutes later, still doing raffles, still doing amazing things, and
we went a little bit over.
but every seat in the house was still taken. People are drilling, people are taking stuff down, and they are still there supporting and loving Haunters Hangout, and no one's complaining.
Yeah, it was truly epic. I keep saying it, I know, but I mean, capital E, capital P, capital I, capital C, absolutely epic this year. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you're so right. And actually, Sam, okay, so Sam's one of my people. And the only thing that he was like, hey, I just want an hour so I can go watch Alan. And when Alan was on stage, there were 2 seats left, and they were like very oddly like in the middle.
Yeah.
So I walked by, I was like, sit down, you deserve to sit down. And he was like, it's okay. I don't want to interrupt them. And I like looked over, and I'm just like, where were these people hiding? They're just like, every vendor was still full, and all the aisles were still full, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And even for like when you're saying about the raffle and all that other same thing, like I don't know if there were people that just sat there all day or not, but
I don't know. It was astounding. It really was. And I believe we got most of them back for a photo after the fact. And
gosh.
Yeah. So it's fantastic. So good. Jen, are you freezing? Jenny.
So cold right now.
For bedtime.
She's all wrapped.
Jen, we might hit your bingo card. I've been watching you. I'm like, she might fall asleep on this screen with us.
I'm so mentally drained. I don't even know. You can't even sleep at night because I was so stressed for so long that I don't even know how to like come down from it.
Yeah. The decompression, that's tough to get to. Yeah. It's well-deserved rest upcoming.
Oh yeah.
Well-deserved.
Rich took me out of town, but I don't know that it's helping.
We left all the computers at home. So.
Except
It was
for
that-
For the
It was that call this morning. Jim, do you think anyone's going to show up? That really threw me off.
I did that during the gym.
It's really funny. No, Jen called me this morning all excited with the news. She's like, are you sleeping? I was like, no, this is just kind of my voice now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, totally repaired.
I know.
2 hours, you wouldn't know it, but you know.
I know. I think I called at like 7 a.m. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you didn't answer yet. I think it was a little.
We're all excited.
It usually starts around 5 a.m. So.
Yeah, I call Anne-Marie first because she has the time difference.
I hear it every morning. Here we go. She started.
You would
already.
think I'd leave the room. No.
Up to 5 a.m. calling people and texting, and like she doesn't have her sound shut off, so I can hear her texting.
Click.
But I mean, being serious, like I mean, a lot of people don't realize the effort that Jen puts into these shows. Like I mean, they think that it's just something, like some people, some of you guys on Haunts and Alan, they see the lines and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This is easy, and I'm gonna start doing this, but. Jen puts in countless hours and does so many things that behind the scenes that people just don't know. She lives, eats, breathes, sleeps, everything haunt. And she truly cares about every person. Like at the show, we had one exhibitor that wasn't doing very well. And, I told Jen, I said, I don't know what to tell the guy. So I brought over a couple other exhibitors to talk to him to try to find out why he wasn't doing well and others were. And Jen goes over to his booth and she buys two of his, products. I don't want to say what they were to point out, but that's the kind of person she is. And she had no use for these products, like she bought them because she just felt bad. And that's just her in a nutshell.
Well, I feel responsible. Like I brought these people into my home. They have to have a good show. I don't know what to do.
She really cares. And I don't know that you get that anywhere else. Like,
no.
Wait, can I just ask a question? Did it happen to be the ring cleaning people? Because I'm still mad that I didn't go back and buy them.
No.
But that guy was super nice. I talked to him and he's like,
my ring is still sparkling days afterwards.
And everything.
Use that other crap.
He's like, listen, we just tried.
Good. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, it's gonna be good for a week. Yes.
He's like, we just try shows and like this just isn't our show. I said, yeah, not many of these people want their jewelry clean. They prefer dirty. So
Send me his contact number.
they prefer it to be dirty and black, you know. So it's not cleaning anything. So.
Oh my God, that is
But-
so funny. That is
But to piggyback on what Rich was saying, truly, Jen treats us all like family. We are not a member of the staff. We are the team. We are family, and we live
Wait,
and
did you
breathe
say Jen
together.
or Rich? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, definitely not me. Definitely.
Rich always says I'm the nice one. He's the asshole.
Right. Your top act.
But I will say he goes out of his way more than anyone.
Yes, he
And
does.
he-
No, he keeps us humble.
You guys,
That's right.
honestly, like we're a team. When Nicole comes in town, she sleeps at our house. She
I do.
takes with my kids. Like,
Right.
you know, we're a family. I really
That's
Yeah.
I feel that way, and that's why I think our show is so good. I really do because we
Yeah.
all care so much. Everyone, you know, I feel even though Nicole runs her own events, Jim's got his group, Hunter's Hangout has their thing, Alan has his haunt. And Alan has more things going on than Alan and Shannon more than anyone I know.
Yeah.
Everyone still gives us
Why
time.
have you been? Where have we been?
Time to help build it. So I love you all. And the other person who's not on this call is Ben Armstrong. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, I don't know how he's still friends with me. Like, I don't know. I give him so much credit. He hears every little single thing. You know,
So I have an idea. Let's all start with Chris and work our way around. What was your highlight of the show?
Ooh.
Mm.
And I'll go last.
Oh,
Oh wow! To pin one thing, you know, this is tough. Oh boy! All right. I mean, there's a lot of good things. So
No
hopefully
pressure, Chris. If you get it wrong and forget somebody, though, you're never going to hear the end of it.
Pretty much. That's very much so. Okay. I'm gonna go with one that.
All right, time's up, Chris. Next.
Thanks for the verbal delay.
Yeah.
The TransWorld Live after party on Saturday night. To have so many different haunters from all different walks of life packed into a room. I mean, wall to wall. People were on the floor. They were standing shoulder to shoulder just to be a part of the entertainment. There were people that had a wedding earlier that day that were coming to the floor on Sunday, but they made sure they left the wedding to be a part of the TransWorld Live after party.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
it was just absolutely amazing to see everyone just being a part of that community and loving each other and catching up with loved ones. So that is my memory. It was absolutely epic. In my
Yeah, I have to. Jen and I didn't make it. Obviously, we were too tired. But
Sleeping.
it was interesting to hear how the party had to end. They brought in a SWAT team from the hotel with flashlights and kicked everyone out. So it clearly had to be packed. You know what I mean? Something like that happening, but you know, it had to be epic. So
Yeah. No, and it was, and we like kicked it off like we had a job, and I was like, Chris, it's bad. Make sure it's ready. And I'm beelining on there, and Anne-Marie was like, you left me. I was like, Anne-Marie, I had a horde of people after me. I was like, follow me, folks. Let's go. No.
Oh my God.
awesome.
What
So
about you, Nicole?
Oh God, I was next. I don't know if I was prepared for this. You know,
we can go down to Shannon if she wants, if she's ready.
I'm ready.
Oh,
All right.
go ahead.
Give you
I'm
more
ready.
time, Nicole.
I'm gonna. It's easy for me. It was the bus tour. It was the 20-hour bus tour, which was awesome because I thought the whole day went well. The weather was beautiful, guys. It's 100 degrees here. The weather was beautiful. The shows were so good, and I may never get a chance to see these shows again. But then the people who are on the bus, you end up, getting to know them and talking to them, learning their names, and you see them later on in the weekend, and you've remembered their name, and it's, how have you had fun, and you're making connections with people because you kind of go through a siege together in the travel, in the experience of the shows, and what have you. And then, like at the end of the day, two individuals, one of them is actually in the chat, but he'll know what I'm talking about. There's two people on our bus who flat out said, well, Shannon, this has been great, but we're ready for a party, so we're going to leave you. We're abandoning bus 3 to party on bus 2. And I was like, I'm not bitter. I'm not upset about that. left me for bus 5. Which what that did though is it opened up 2 seats, and then there were 2 individuals from bus 2 who were like, "We're done. Can we get on your bus?" Because now 2 seats just opened up, and that actually worked out really well. So it was even everybody said, "I can't believe how late you got home." You know what? That day was an outstanding day, and I'll do it again. I loved it. Bus tour was awesome.
Got to see amazing things with amazing people.
So good. Such good people.
So my highlight, tough. There's a lot of really good ones, but I had the honor of being on a panel with Ben Armstrong and John LaFlamboy, and we're talking about world building for haunted houses and overall design and working your story into a whole world and making sure the customer gets it. And it's rare that I come at things so differently from others, but both of them have brains that I respect immensely, but they come at world building, they come at haunted house design and what haunted houses should be doing so differently than I do. And we all come at it from different angles. And it was just such a joy to talk with them. And, we got to have a nice hour-long conversation about haunted house world building. And everybody got to sit in it and participate and ask questions. And I think that class and those moments of seeing how people that I respect do it so differently than I do. And it really runs home that there's no wrong way to do haunted houses.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, I have mine. I'm ready to go. You ready for this?
You ready to go?
Nervous, I was like, I don't want to forget anything. Like, this was so amazing and epic. Like, I had notes of all the crazy, awesome things that happened. Like, I didn't want to forget them in Facebook posts. I still did. All right, here's mine. My favorite thing about the weekend was getting to share like physical space with people that make time for us every single week.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
yeah.
It started off with a bus tour and me being like, and here's me. I'm so naive in every situation. It started off with
Chris and Sammy.
T-shirts. Chris got a marriage proposal. I was told off the bat that I was loved. Again, this is like 6:45 in the morning. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yep.
Sammy and Chris, they started it off, right?
Yep.
So then here's me. I get on the TransWorld live bus as if like nobody knows me. Right. And because I don't really know. Right. And people immediately, they're starting to ask me questions and they're like, so tell me, how's your son's baseball season going? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, they either did some really great Facebook stalking or I talk about it too much. Doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about it anyways. But the transition, especially like on the bus, I talked about everything from like personal life to giving business advice to talking about our show and then things that we're working on. I may or may not have pulled out my computer and made somebody sign an NDA at 1:00 in the morning because that's I did. And I was like, hold on, I got to plug this back in so I got a Wi-Fi signal. Right. And no, that was real. That was really happening. To singing Eminem while we crossed 8 Mile in Detroit, to getting off the bus, to Paul and Kimberlina and this beautiful package of Michigan stuff, which Paul, I found the earrings.
Wow.
I absolutely love them and I meant to put them on. But things like that just kept happening, or people like stopping and like getting selfies, and they would be like, "Oh my God, I've been wanting to take a picture with you." I'm like, "I want to take a picture with you." It was just incredible, and then also, physically getting to see people that I know and love, and the hugs, and just like that vibrant energy. So like when you talk about like, I don't know how you guys do it. It would literally be, Jeremy would be like, you need to go back to bed. It's 6:45 in the morning. I'm like, people need me. I need to make sure I have face on. Like,
Yes, we do.
It wakes us up. People are expecting it, So that I think is my favorite part is that, it's the same thing is the reason that I log on here every single week. Sometimes it's really crazy. And I'm like running in the door. I'm like, I gotta go. Help is on the way. I think I sent a gift to Chris. But that's what keeps me going. And even like in my own life decisions and decisions that we make for TransWorld, like sitting and thinking about it. We didn't have to do an after party. We absolutely could have been like, no, that's great. You guys got this on your own. Instead, we were like, we need a signature drink. We need to make sure that we've got this going. We need to elevate it, and we got to have a plan, and we got to know what to do, and we got to switch up the music, and we got to, yeah, I mean, because we love you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Bravo.
That's great. That's
Bravo.
All right, you're welcome. I just gave you all your answers.
We got to follow that up. That's tough. All right, I'll go next.
Yeah, Rich, you should have let me go
I was
last.
going to go last. I'll tell you what my favorite thing was. My favorite thing is kind of sappy, but whatever. Was getting the hugs from Pandora.
I was gonna say
So, like, seriously, your personality is like infectious. You are so positive with everything you're facing,
Amen.
all you do. I don't know how you are so positive in the person that you are. You truly make me want to be a better person. Being around you, everything about you just makes me feel good. So I just wanted you to know that, and getting to know you more like meant a lot to me. So that was my highlight.
Wow, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
All of the feels.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for that.
Whoever the guy was that grabbed my ass in the booth while we were doing the picture, that was kind of fun.
And damn you for Barbara Waltersing me into tears on the TransWorld Live Aftermath show. I love you, Rich. Thank you. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. That was really kind. Thank you.
All right. So who wants to follow me up?
Can I wait? Can I go in between?
Rich is always a one-upper. I don't like it.
Wow.
Someone to go in between.
I don't let that side out of me often. I'm not, I try to.
No, but I always tell Nicole how sweet you are. I'm like, you just don't see it.
I tell it all the time. I do see it.
It's intentional not to be seen, but
All right,
there's
but
certain
this is
times when
gonna
I
be
let it out.
history, though, as the show that he made 3 girls cry on. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll give you a minute. Jim, do you want to go? Because I don't want to go after Rich.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Rich stole some of it. For me, it's absolutely the social aspect of it, right? Whether it's, although Chicago Haunt Builders is a tight-knit group and we get together throughout the year, we're so big that I don't get to see people that often, or often I'm coordinating events and I don't get to see people. So, seeing the people at the show and getting the hug from them, or just a hearty handshake, and spending a few moments with them is so awesome. And then it's the folks that are outside the group that you interact with throughout the year, but you often don't see in person. So, same thing, right? The hug from Pandora.
Yeah.
When you first see her, and everyone else, it's purely the social aspect that is the highlight for me. And quite honestly, I'm an introvert, and the social aspect doesn't come naturally to me. It is yet the highlight of the show. And it goes to the community aspect that I need to circle back from. Everything else going on, I absolutely love it. Whether it's facilitating some seminars and talking to people and hopefully being able to give back some of the knowledge that I've gotten, or some of everything else that's going on in the 73 ring circus that's going on. It really comes down to the interpersonal social aspect of it, and being able to see people and give them a hug, or get that hug from Pandora, and just spend, if anything, a few minutes with them. To me, that is absolutely hands down the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
Agree. Well said.
Jim, a lot of us here even on this tonight, I'm in a lot of these people's homes every week on YouTube Wednesday doing a video, and I'm in their home on their phone, in their TV, whatever. You guys, Chris and Nicole, you guys are in their home once a week, an hour a week. Pandora with Haunter's Hangout, and they get to know us in that time, just like you said, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
to get to somewhere like MHC where we then get to know them.
Yeah.
And they're happy to see us. We're happy to see them because we don't get that the other side of it. We're a lot of times we're throwing this into the void. We're throwing our energy and our love and our passion for this industry out into the void. And it's at places like MHC and TransWorld when that comes back in tides. And and that's when it comes back to us, all the energy we've been throwing out into it. And it's you're right, Jim. You're right on. It's that community. I'm looking at these names scroll by because I have the comments on. And I keep thinking, that guy's awesome. That guy's awesome. That lady's awesome. They're awesome. And I keep saying that every time these names come up. I love all these people. Some of them I barely know, but I've got to know them through comments. I've got to know them through my YouTube channel or their social media. And just having some time in the same building is a wonderful thing.
Well, and that was, I think, that I just want to add on to that really quick. The number one thing that I loved, people would come up to me and they'd be like, I'm so-and-so from YouTube. And I'd be like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or they'd be talking to me and like the line, they'd be like, by the way. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. Thank you so much for telling me that. Like now I'm all excited. Now I'm going to look for your name. Like, yeah.
Sometimes we get so used to seeing just a little itty bitty teeny icon or just a name. And we learn these people from that, but to have them right in front of you and to talk with you that way, as if they do know you, that's so special. That's so incredibly special. And it's a gift. It truly is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm even seeing Judy right now. And as soon as I saw Judy on the bus and Laura, I like remembered her icon and I'm like seeing it pop up and I'm like, yay, they still love us after having to suffer on the bus with us. That's amazing. No, but even for like our bus, we became like a little family afterwards. We were like all these ducks trying to go together. All right.
And I think I said it earlier, right? I think I said it at the beginning of the show. Thank you to Jen and Rich for making
thank you
for that.
Oh my God. Did you guys see Ryan's comment?
I know.
TransWorld was a way for me to meet all the creators I idolized as a kid, and now I get to stand next to them. I'm honored.
I know.
Can I get that like on a t-shirt? Like
beautiful.
Did he just call everyone old?
Well, why'd you have to go there?
We're set. It's my turn.
Yes.
All right. So I still do have to comment on the Pandora thing. That is the most special part of the show. I admire her in ways that no one would ever understand. So I really feel like seeing her and her coming to the show meant so much to the TransWorld family. It was your gift to us, honestly.
Wow. Thank you. I love you. I love you guys. Dang it. Thank you. And among all the things that we have kind of cumulatively said here, the show floor, the costume ball, the after parties, the entertainment, all of this. And I will always 100% go back to the hugs and always 100% go back to the camaraderie. We are all creatives, every last one of us. And we are creatives in a world where we are doing our best in a lot of ways to fabricate darkness, if you will, right? Yeah. Because we create fear in a lot of things. Despite that, despite being creatives that fabricate darkness, never have I known a community that brings such light. And so for me, that's what this is about. It's the camaraderie. It's the light. It is the thank you to Rue's button on his jacket for many haunts, one family, because that's absolutely 100% what this is for me. So for all of you, your love, your support, your encouragement, your generosity, for sharing those hugs with me, because man, that light is so, so, so important in this world. And I'm just unbelievably grateful to all of you. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you for you, and thank you for the camaraderie, and thank you for the light that is the haunt community. Truly.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know what, Pandora? Somebody once said to me, we create darkness with such passion because so many of us know it, right? So many of us know what fear feels like. So many of us know what loneliness, all of that, right? Which I think every human to a certain extent does. But we are the brave ones that put it into action and help others.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that ever. And
I love it.
It's extremely powerful. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things that a lot of us say about you consistently is your bravery. And I want to be you when I grow up. Like, really, truly, in every single way, just between your gentle demeanor to your ability to persevere and just all of the things, like in such a manner. Like I'm barely holding it together, and look at you. You're like right there, and you're like, you can receive an Academy Award.
Oh no, there will be serious waterworks when this ends, just so you know.
A lot of people are truly saying it, like that they are home and they're emotional because of how much of an impact you have made on the haunt industry. And I think, I mean, even every one of us, let's be real, right? Because we care.
Yes.
We care. We make it a priority, right? When Jen's calling Alan and it's like 11 o'clock at night, his time, he could be like, I'll talk to her in the morning. No, it's, I've witnessed
no,
it.
never. Yeah.
Hey, Jen, what's going on? Right. And he's like, hey, I've got, my shop filled right now. Give me just a minute. Right. Same thing with Ben. Same thing with Jim. Same thing with Chris. Rich doesn't answer our phone calls when we're there, but I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But even in the passion, tell me I'm wrong. Like, you can't pick up the pieces. Just kidding. No, but really, truly, it takes so much in it. And, when Jen's like, are you sleeping? That's because sometimes, even if I was sleeping, I am answering that call.
Yeah.
It could literally just be like, hey, I just wanted to see how you're doing. But we all care about each other so much because we all know that working with each other and working together has created such an amazing net for our industry. And it just, man, I didn't know this show was going to this. Like, this is.
I know. Right?
Like, Ryan Visegard is like writing my feelings. He's like, yeah.
Ryan's,
Now
all of the comments.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm trying to hold it together. Please.
It's amazing. Beautiful family, and all inclusive. And I count myself lucky to be a part of this with all of you. So, yeah. And TransWorld family, Jen and Rich, all of you for giving us this space, this all inclusive familial space. It's beautiful. Yeah.
For sure.
We love you, Nora.
I love
Where
you
do we
too.
go from here? Do we have prizes?
Let's lighten the mood a bit. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dance party.
Yeah. Ooh, and
dance party.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yes, very much so. We could not do this without them.
Yeah.
All of them.
All
Go
of them.
Patronize them, please. We love them.
Yes, for sure. Now, Chris and Jen and Rich, do we have any TransWorld things that we want to announce? Things coming soon, or is this it and we're gone forever? Or
we can say that Midwest Haunters is moving into a new hall next year because it'll be
I like
so
that.
we're moving into F hall, so it's going to be a larger hall. We're very excited about it. So we have to make
amazing
for more exhibitors and more people. We plan on continuing what we've done, and with everybody here and the people that aren't on this show right now that help us build this, we look forward to a bigger and better show next year.
It's good when Rosemont comes to you and says, "Can you walk with me?"
And if you did not see the dates that were posted, mark your calendars, June 6 to 9 2024.
Yes. And next year we have a fun lineup because we'll be doing TransWorld, East Coast Hunters Convention, and Midwest Hunters Convention back to back to back.
And Legendary Hunt Tour. Don't
Legendary
forget, it's going
Hunt
to
Tour.
be.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Off this year with that, and if this is going to be an epic tour, you don't want to miss this year's tour.
Salem this year, even amazing.
Management.
Haunted Overload, Fright Kingdom. It's going to be ridiculous.
Barrett's Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
So we've got some of the best. So you know, I'm going to let everyone go. I know it's been like a long evening and a long couple of days, and I feel like I'm asleep when I'm up. I don't know. And I love you all so much. And this year has just been amazing. And everyone on this call, I mean, I'm on this podcast, made the show what it is. So I just want you to know, it's from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys.
We love you. We love you. Love every one of you.
I know.
Giant hugs.
Now we have sad news. I feel like it's sad news now, Chris.
It is a little bit, but we've been all about the emotions tonight, so this is okay.
I know. So for the first time
You're quitting?
in over 40 weeks, no, don't get started. I mean, I did get a job. I'm just kidding.
You might have to have Pandora replace you.
Yeah.
Never. There is no replacing the great spooky mama. Never. Nope.
Oh my God. Yes. Well, so for the first time in a very long time, we're gonna take a break with TransWorld Live. We're gonna end season 3 on episode 40. Yes, we're crazy enough. That means that for close to an entire year, we have been bringing you weekly shows about Halloween, about Christmas, about this, about that. We took like a spring break for 1 week.
Yeah.
We're coming back. In full disclosure, what it is it's a couple of weeks for summer, and then we are jumping right in to Halloween. It is a short break. Anticipate like very early fall so that you can get your haunts ready with us. We can start talking to people. We can start looking at displays. We can start checking in with the really crazy, creepy, cool stuff that's happening all across the country. And then also hang out with some of our favorite other shows like Pandora, Haunters Hangout, and bringing you all things TransWorld. We're going to be able to have all the updates when it comes to Legendary. We're going to be getting you in on the ground floor of everything that's happening with ECHC, bringing you all the stuff for TransWorld, really prepping you guys for that terrific trifecta. See what I did there? That's like my new thing, because all 3 of those shows like right away.
Yep.
And then also giving you guys great prizes and great ways to win your way in for some of it. That was one of the big things at MHC. I'm going to say it. Somebody in line was like, I don't know. I want to go to all 3 shows. How do I do it? Before I could say a word, somebody's like, well, you need to watch TransWorld Live.
Yes.
Because you can win some of this
You
stuff.
win
And they were
everything.
like, what's TransWorld Live? And the guy was like, I can't believe you don't know about TransWorld Live. How did you? And I was like, my job here's done. I'm just going to walk away. You got it from here. Thank you so much. But yeah, Chris and I and Rich and Jen have a whole lot more to plan and do. And hopefully Jim, Pandora, even Tater, Alan, and Shannon will answer the phone calls so we can keep doing cool things.
Always. There's many more adventures ahead of us, my friends.
Yes, absolutely.
While you guys are in the build stage of your haunt or something neat pops up, take a picture, send it in. That goes for exhibitors too. As you're building product, we'd love to do a sneak peek and kind of show people what to expect next year at some of our events. So, you know, we want to hear from you guys too. You can send everything to Robert.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
For Nicole. And, you know, pictures
one
up.
of the important things, Jen, that you just touched on is like last year, we really made it a priority to visit haunts like behind the scenes when they were getting ready. We visited some of the coolest, biggest attractions in the industry, and people opened their doors, Alan being one of them. That was one of my favorite episodes, going through Dark Hour. And then we visited Jim Slanker. Chris got a brand new phone out of it.
I did.
He went like live on site.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out a way to go and visit Pandora yet, but when we do, it's going to
We'll
be
do
like
that.
publishers.
Yes.
And
We're doing
13th
it.
Gate.
You're not even going to know we're coming.
Yep.
We're just gonna show up.
Door is
Have an
always
umbrella
open.
ready. Have an umbrella ready. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
And Nicole, remember the 13th Gate show He opened up like 45 minutes before his show was going live, right before Halloween, and he did it just for us.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
Amazing.
And I even remember being like, TransWorld Live, you guys want to come in and see all the skeletons in my closet? Absolutely. We're going to take you on the gator. We're going to go everywhere. Let me show you everything. Let me get what I can. You know, yeah, no, for real. And that was, I mean, as a note, we started to do some of the shows on Thursdays to allow for us to be able to visit and see other operations and do those walkthroughs, those behind the scenes, all that. And I want to mention that because I know that we have a lot of new viewers that we've picked up from both TransWorld and MHC. And those are the types of things that Chris and I are just crazy enough to do.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
and then, you know, we're able to do some, like kind of in the off season, we're able to do some walkthroughs of different places. We've done Distortions. We've done Immortal. We're going to beg Alan to take us in his shop and show us things that he's working on. You know, there's big plans, big plans.
Nicole, what do you think about Paul Robinson's idea there? TransWorld Cribs.
Oh, nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could be fun.
I love that. That's super fun.
You know who has a great crib? You got to see Ben's living room.
I was going to say, I feel like
It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
can
we'd have
we
to
get
change the name
both
to Home
Ben
Crib.
and then Chad Savage? I want to see his spooky.
Yeah,
house.
Chad's.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to
love
snuggle
it.
nugget.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
For
yeah. Dogs when he comes in.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, but if you guys have any suggestions too, there's some people that have reached out and they've been like, hey, have you ever thought about this? The answer is probably no, we have not. Because we're only us and we're, you know, so reach out, tell us. And if there's like, hey, there's this really cool haunted attraction, or if you're part of a really cool haunted attraction, tip us off to something cool that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'll, you know, there's lots more to come. But
Very
wait,
much
so. Amazing.
there's more.
All right.
Always. But wait, there's more.
I know. I know. And I just want you all to know in the comments, I don't know if you saw it, but as we're like getting all heartfelt and mushy, I'm like, this show makes me want to come back sooner. Let's revisit the
No, Legendary's not that far away.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah.
Enjoy your summers, everyone.
Yeah.
And we will be back live soon.
We
Yeah.
love you.
Thank you guys.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you.